All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to the Milwaukee Mile. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series hits the Milwaukee Mile for the first oval of the season. It's 200 laps. And is this a short track or is it a big track? I don't know, man. It's in between. How about that? It's the Milwaukee Mile. A lot of fun here tonight. Flag to flag coverage. Let's get this party started. Well, the IndyCar Series in action right here on TurnLeftTV. It's race number 3 of the season. It's the Milwaukee Mile. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory? There's only one way to find out. You know, it's right here on TurnLeftTV.
A lot of
All
soul.
right, thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here today, tonight, wherever. We've got a good one for you. Thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster and commentator here at TurnLeftTV. Had a little bit of a mic trouble here today, man, with the popping in the mic. I can't figure out how to stop that today. Just propped up all of a sudden. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. This 200 laps here tonight in the Milwaukee Mile, race number 3 of the season. And I appreciate your patronage here at TurnLeftTV. It's like we have actually got about 5 minutes left in the practice session before we go to quals. So actually, there's only about 5 minutes left to go in the practice session. Here we start at qualifications at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12:55 right now. This is race number 3 on the schedule, and it is Milwaukee. Next week, we got a big one. It's Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's right. The crown jewel of motorsports. Live 100-lap race right here on TurnLeftTV on May the 24th. That's next Saturday. Thank you for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. All those folks who have subscribed, appreciate that. Don't forget that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so. And then smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live here on TurnLeftTV. Thanks to all those folks who have been here from the beginning and joined somewhere in between, and all the new subscribers as well. If you come out and watch the races, I appreciate you, hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like button as well. Take a look at the track here at the Milwaukee Mile. Opened in September the 11th, 1903. Located in West Allis, Wisconsin. It's a little over a mile in length, 1.6 kilometers in length. 4 turns, of course, and drives like a road course, really. Turns 9.25 degrees of banking in the straights, 2.5 degrees of banking. And it is a tough track on tires, man. So it's going to challenge these drivers tonight. And I think it's a little bit about racing the track and, trying to weave your way through traffic, but really concentrating on tire degradation or lack thereof. IndyCar standings coming into tonight's race. Hank Steneker, big lead there for him. And look at that, next 3. Are you kidding me? Look at that right there. Wow. Ricky Novar, Claudio Bardelli Jr., and Graham Vandertang all locked up in a big battle. See Gordon Carter sits 5th in points, John Stanley 6th. Colin Matiak is 7th, Alexander Meshkov 8th. And then tied for 9th is Sofian Amara and Dennis Vandeven. Take a look at page number 2. Antonis Paparanopoulos, Emerson Scott, Ed Palumbo, Eugene Fedorov, Dan Richter, and Dennis Guderchin. Those are the standings coming into tonight's race. You apologize for the mics popping and clicking and so forth. Had a little bit of a surprise there coming in today to the once I went live. Should have checked that, I guess. I'm an amateur. I don't get paid very well to do this. Hopefully it's not too bad. You guys can figure it out, I guess. Later tonight, the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder will be in action for a 135-lap race. That is at North Wilkesboro. Great short track action there in the Saturday Night Thunder. Don't get triggered there. We're just switching over to the qualification session. All right, these guys are in quals now. As we will guys will be headed out on the track here very shortly. So once they officially switch it over. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Wednesday, May the 21st. Race number 10, the final race of the season. That'll be 110 laps from Nashville Super Speedway. Great track there. Like Eugene Fedorov might be the first one out on the track here to get his quals in. Oh, we got a green light checker. Get that off there. We do that in IndyCars. What do you think? As I can find it. Oh man, I tell you. Eugene Fedorov. 23:01.5 is the target time. He's setting it. Couple laps there. It looks like 23:129 is that second lap, so at 0:15 is that top time. How about Epalumbo, one of our stock car aficionados, out here mixing it up in the IndyCars. Dennis Vandeven now to the top of the grid with a 22:884. So now Ed Palumbo there trying to get a good qualification position. Said he's just coming out here to make some laps, have a little fun there. 22:592 for Gordon Carter. So good run there for Gordon Carter. Up to P1 in the 56 car. Emerson Scott, Eugene Fedorov. Let's see Emerson Scott out on the track. So, Bram Vandertang now to the top of the grid with a 5:08. 23:224 for Emerson Scott. And looks like maybe Dennis Unichin out on the track as well. Looks like he's finished up his qual, maybe. Oh, or backed it off. Unichin with 7th position qual attempt. Paulo Roberto. Paulo Chachalowski, I believe. 23:316 is the target time. That is set by Bram Vandertang. Oh, a little bit squirrely there for Paulo Roberto and into the wall for him. So it looks like maybe Vandertang will be the top qualification time and earn the pole position. And we will get things started here as we got about 6 minutes left in quals. These guys are going to go through the driver's meeting, I believe. So it looks like Hank Staneker is going to qualify there, so kind of snookering us a little bit. So Staneker with his qualification attempt. He's actually out on the track, it looks like. There you go, Vandertang out late. 22:166 to the top of the grid for Vandertang. And it looks like Vandertang has finished up his qual attempt. So this guy's supposed to get the qual in the first half of the session. And thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeft TV. Appreciate you being here. Let's get this party started.
Turn Left TV. Turn Left TV. Turn Left TV. Turn Left. Hold on to your butts, cause this is gonna be a great show. Heath Johnson saying all you need to know. We got fast cars racing, hopefully you're pacing. Are you ready for some high-speed action? Step on the gas. Alright. Race fans, my heavens. My heavens. Bushwhackers. Saturday night. Thunder. Tough trucks. NASCAR. IndyCar. GT3. Octane! Racing League! Racing League! High Octane! Racing League! High Octane! Racing League! High Octane! Racing League! Racing League! High Octane! Racing League! Racing League! Octane Racing League!
All right, it does look like the qualification session is over. And we'll give you the results, qualifications. Thank you for being patient there. I was hitting all kinds of buttons, man. A lot of people talking in my ear right now, too, by the way, so I got an excuse. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeft TV, owner of High Octane Racing League, and it's the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series, and we are finished with the qualification session. We'll take a look at the results. Hank Stedeker qualifies in P1 with a 22.149. Bram Vandertank qualifies outside row 1 with a 22.316. Gordon Carter and Dennis Vandeven will start in row 2 with a 22.592, 22.84 respectively. Eugene Fedorov starts in the 5th position, 23.015. Emerson Scott starts in P6 with a 23.224. Starting in 7th is Ed Palumbo with a 23.313. Dennis Unison will start in the 8th position with a 23.657. And John Stanley will start in the 9th position with a 23.949. We do have 2 more drivers that have joined us after quals, it looked like. So they'll start in P10, P11, respectively. Take a look at the IndyCar schedule, and it looks like next week we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You know, the crown jewel of motorsports. That's just, just a small little track there located in Indianapolis, Indiana. And you see we got Nashville Super Speedway on May 31st, Iowa Speedway June the 7th. Gateway will finish out the ovals on June the 14th, and then we'll finish the season at Road America on June the 21st. Getting some chatters in here, so good to see the chatters. Givaldo said he couldn't make it tonight, but he's going to be cheering on from the sidelines. Sorry about the mic issues, man. Not sure what was going on. I think it was a Windows update, and it may have broken my microphone settings. We'll get that worked out for next race. Fireball Flash joining us in here. Fabio Mazza also joining us here in the broadcast. Thought he'd be out on the track. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button as well and smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live here on TurnLeftTV. You got about 6 minutes left in the practice session. Hopefully you can hear me all right. I know I got a little popping in the microphone, so I apologize for that. Not a normal situation for me, but a little bit of a surprise. There's always something, man, with when you're trying to stream races. There's always one little thing that ends up kind of throwing a wrench in the program. Make sure our side-by-side is working. Looks like it is working just fine, so that's good news. I actually popped that up during the the interim when I was playing the song, so it is what it is. I think we got it now, so we're good. Looks like it's looking pretty hot, huh? Pretty lit. Take a look at my race keys here. Man, this thing is really tough on tires. It's so easy to overdrive the corners. It's tough on tires. Corner transition is big too. I think downshifting for me is the way that I get through these corners the best. Use the slipstream. Set some passes up as you see going on right there. And make sure your pit stops are on point and you gotta know when to go here. I think a lot of it is going to be tire management. And, you don't have a huge field here, 11 drivers. There's still going to be some managing traffic too, but I think managing your tires and then know when to go. There'll be some good racing here tonight. Probably manage that aggression too. That'd be a key thing. I can only put so many keys to the race. Hank Staneker will start in P1. Great qualification effort for him. He is our points leader coming into tonight, or today. High Octane Racing League Bushwhackers Xfinity Series will be back in action for race number 8 of the season. Just 3 races to go, including, actually, this is the last night's race, so where am I at here? There we go. They'll be at Charlotte next week. Haven't had a chance to change that, but they'll be at Charlotte next week in the Bushwhackers Series. 100-lap race there. And the Tough Trucks, of course, will be in action. Take a look at the Tough Trucks at Nashville on 21st of May. Final race of that season. Well, that should be a fun one. Sounding good now. All right. Good. Thank you, CG. Appreciate that. I got some popping going on here, so a little bit of overmodulation or whatever it is in the microphone, and I've not changed anything. I just noticed it's a Windows update, so it's kind of broken some settings. So. Unfortunately, take a look at Gordon Carter here in the third position, 56 car in warm-up, third fastest in warm-up. In the 19. Great Indonesian drivers had a good race last night. A little eventful race, but a good race last night in the Bushwhackers series. Check that out on YouTube. Graham Vandertang. Going to be one of those guys in the conversation to win this race tonight, too. A lot of these guys that race IndyCars are more familiar with the racing, the road courses versus the ovals. But, hey, you know, there are at least 5 ovals on the schedule in the IndyCar series, the real IndyCar series. So we like ovals. I've actually had some folks that like IndyCars that message me and say, hey, we want to race more ovals. And again, next week we will be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the crown jewel of motorsports, for race number 4 of the season. It is Memorial Day weekend. And just the day before the actual Indy 500, we're going to be running a 100-lap race. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Microphone better and everything, I swear to you. Well, get your picks in now. I think I'm going to pick Staniker to win this race. It's my pick to win this race. Some say it's a curse. My pick to win this race is Hank Staniker. He's got a solid effort. He's got a solid lead, solid car. And I think he is on pace to win this event today. All right. Looks like warm-up is over. We're going to get this party started here. Hopefully you got your picks in. All right, it's that time, baby. It is that time. Here we are, IndyCar Series, Milwaukee Mile. And let's take a look at the starting order. Looks like we lost somebody.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now. ascension grid with all non-essential.
Oh, boy. Gotta love this game, man. All right, I think we're ready now. I swear, I think we are ready until we're not. All right, man, race number 3 is 200 laps tonight here at the Milwaukee Mile. And let's take a look at the starting order. Hank Stenneker will start in P1. Bram Vandertang starts in the 2nd position in the 8 car. Gordon Carter starts in P3. And Dennis Vandeven will start in the 4th position. Starting in 5th will be Eugene Fedorov. Emerson Scott starts in the 6th position. And Palumbo starts in P7. Dennis Yuderchin will start in the 8th position. Starting in 9th will be John Stanley. Paulo Roberto starts in the 10th position. And Ritsky Novar will start in P11. Keys to the race here tonight, man. Tires, tires, tires. Corner transition. Use that slipstream tonight and make sure your pit stops are on point. And you got to know when to go here at Milwaukee. Get your picks in here. My pick. CG picking Gordon Carter here. All right. Picking Stenneker to win this race, and CG picking Gordon Carter. Not a bad pick, really. I mean, he's got a good starting position, starting in P3, so. Could be a winning pick. I'll tell you, that's a good one. All right, I think we're going to go green this time by. Teammates there, Stenneker and Vandertang starting side by side. Good to see Dennis Vandeven out with us tonight, too. He's starting in the 4th position. Gordon Carter starts in P3. Eugene Fedorov here as well. Emerson Scott, Palumbo, Dennis Yuderchin, John Stanley, Paulo Roberto, and Ritsky Novar. Here we go. Pace car's off. Here at Milwaukee Mile.
Flag. Go, go, go.
And we're off. Good side-by-side with the teammates there. Stenneker on the inside. Pull out in front of Vandertang. Be very careful here on these cold tires. A little bit of warpage there. Vandertang running into 2nd position as Hank Stenneker is our leader. Those guys have opened up a little bit of a gap there. Vandeven has gotten around Gordon Carter. And Vanderman now in P3. Emerson Scott in the 4th position. So they're kind of spread out now. There's a little bit of a warp there. Looks like somebody lost their connection. Dennis Uderchin is in a mess of cars right now. Eugene Fedorov, Paulo Roberto, all battling here. Great battle. Uderchin running in P5, and just behind him is Eugene Fedorov. Fedorov running in the 6th position. Paulo Roberto, Chachalowski, I believe, running in P7. Gordon Carter is in 8th. Good battle here. On board here with Roberto, looking out of the front of his car as Fedorov starting to battle Uderchin side by side. Eugene Fedorov wants that spot. He is battling Dennis Uderchin here on lap 6. Side by side battle. Great battle here between Uderchin and Fedorov. Oh, wheel to wheel! Wheel to wheel. Looked like Uderchin got the worst end of that. He was able to hold on to it. Why heavens, man, did you see that? And there was contact there between Fedorov and Uderchin. Take a look here. Eugene Fedorov and Dennis Uderchin into the corner, and that got a little squeezy. A little tight here. We'll take a look. Dennis Uderchin and Eugene Fedorov had some contact, a little wheel-to-wheel contact, and that did not work out very well for Uderchin. It's a little bit earlier here, it looks like. Right here. Contact right there, wheel-to-wheel. And Uderchin hangs on to that thing. Epilombo had a bird's eye view for that one, didn't he? Ringside seat for Epilombo. On board here with him as he's trying to close in. And, oh, you see that ahead? Right there, white smoke. Everybody checks up and able to get around. Paulo Roberto, he had a view of this as well. Wow! Uderchin does a great job of hanging on to that thing. Hank Snedeker is our leader. 2.7 seconds over Graham Vandertang. Snedeker comes out through the week, gets some practice in. I know ovals are not really kind of their wheelhouse. They like a lot of road courses here, but he's showing his muscle here at Milwaukee Mile. Palumbo now getting around Dennis Uderchin. Palumbo now taking over the 8th position. Uderchin falling back to P9. Richie Novar out of the race. It looks like he lost his connection here. John Stanley running in the 10th position. Look at this battle here. This is Eugene Fedorov and Emerson Scott. Oh, we got somebody coming around here. We might have been looking here a little bit late. Look here, Eugene Fedorov and Emerson Scott. Oh, there's contact there. Fedorov into the wall. Oh, big time contact. Fedorov had gotten around Eugene Scott. Let's take a look here. Fedorov on the inside. Gets around Eugene Scott. And then there's going to be some contact here into this corner, I believe. Right here, just gets into the corner. It gets into the back of that Fedorov and hard into the wall. Wow. Wow. Take a look at Paulo Roberto. Straight out of the front here, that's already transpired and back it up a little bit. I don't like to do it this way, but see right here, contact there, pieces flying. Gordon Carter gets through. looked like that maybe there was some contact going into the corner. Right here, looks like there might have been contact. Fedorov coming around and then through the wall right there. Wow, both those guys, big time damage. And we're under our first caution flag here at the Milwaukee Mile. The wing. Hank Steneker, the leader of these guys, I think will probably come down pit lane. Take some tires. No tire rule here, so no other than losing track position, no real harm in coming down pit lane a little bit early in the race. Steneker staying out, though. Interesting move there. If we do have some guys on pit lane. Won't take very long on pit lane, that's for sure. Fedorov now out of the race. So Steneker will lead the field to, back to the green flag once we get going there. Van der Tang will start in the second position. Van de Ven starts in third, Palumbo fourth. And Uderchin will start in P5. Now Uderchin probably has some lingering damage there from that contact with Fedorov. He starts our single file here in the IndyCar series. Novar back in after getting kicked, so he is 9 laps down. Lights are out on the pace car here. Maybe looking like we're going to go green this time or next time. I believe it'll probably be this time. 18 laps in, one caution flag. Don't want to do cautions, man. They are long here in the IndyCar series. Plus than 30 miles an hour at this track. Looks like the pace car indicating it'll be coming down pit road this time, I believe. That'd be my guess. Pace car doing that hard left. Here we go. Getting ready to go back green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And it's quick, too. Wow. Scott came down pit lane. He was supposed to start at the end of the longest line, but he came down pit lane. Running in the second position, trying to close in on his teammate. Uterchin and Palumbo here battling it out. Uterchin on the inside, got that damage fixed, now battling at Palumbo as you see Emerson Scott coming back out on track. And Uterchin gets around Palumbo. Scott back out on the track. He must have had another penalty, maybe speeding in pit lane. Shed along his line penalty. And might have ended up getting a drive-through. Carter running in the 7th position, just behind Paulo Roberto. Roberto running in P6. Palumbo is in 5th. On board here with Gordon Carter. Carter said, I'm ready to start making some moves here, buddy. Let's go. His teammate, Dennis Uterchin, making some moves. Uterchin running in 4th, looking to take over 3rd, battling Vandeven. He's got some work to do, though. Good side-by-side racing here on board here with Uterchin. Oh, he slips up a little bit. Slips up a little bit. Whoa, boy, did he get the room. Did he get some room. Let's take a look here. This is Paulo Roberto and Palumbo. Paulo wanting to the inside. Uterchin slipped up just a little bit, I think, coming off that corner. Got a lot of, he got a lot of room there. As Palumbo pulls off that pass. Now Roberto battling back and gets the position back. John Stanley running in the 8th position right now in the 15th car. Good run here for John Stanley. Maybe crack the top 5. Let's see. Vandeven and Uterchin battling it out down the straights into turn 1. Vandeven has the advantage. Uterchin has the advantage, and Vandeven has to back off. Now plays a little defense on Paulo Roberto. Roberto's got some racing on his mind as well. As it looks like Palumbo getting back by. Oh, Roberto all over the back of Palumbo. Wow, they might have put a little bump draft in there. You don't want to do that in Indy cars. Palumbo picking up a spot, getting a little racing. Novar back in it. He wants to race. He's 9 laps down, but he wants to get out here and mix it up. Look at this pass. Palumbo put on Paulo Roberto. Take a look at this. Ed Palumbo going to the inside. Roberto on the outside line, and Ed Palumbo slipping through. Follow. Oh, maybe a little bump right there. He didn't like it. I don't think he liked it, baby. Where does bacteria come from? Bacteria that I used came from a bacteria I used in my lab. Roberto Matias came from the supply house. I buy it through the mail. I buy it and have it shipped through the mail. Where does bacteria come from? Other bacteria. So Hank Stenneker, a big lead there for him. 3-second lead over his teammates, Bram Vandertank. Things are sort of quieted down. Vandertank running into second position. Running in third is Dennis Yuchin. Yuchin has had an eventful race, and he is showing exactly why he is a great race car driver in these Indy cars. This is how I first met Dennis. He raced in the IndyCar series earlier on that we did here on at High Octane Racing League, and was very successful. Showed the competition, how good he was racing Indy cars. I think he prefers these Indy cars over stock cars. Vanderbilt running in the second position, another great IndyCar racer, great GT3 car racer as well, and a great friend. Both those guys are great friends of mine. He's running in P4. Now it's starting to get a little serious here with Paulo Roberto and Gordon Carter. Roberto going to the inside of Gordon Carter. Roberto down to the inside. Gordon Carter flying on the outside line, trying to fight back. And Gordon Carter using a little muscle there to hang on to that position. Carter, Paulo Roberto says, not so fast there, Kimasabi. And, he loosed a little grip into the corner. Gordon Carter slips on through. That is a great battle, four-way battle there. Palumbo in this mix as well. Look at this battle here. Palumbo is in this mix. Vanderven, Carter, and Paulo Roberto. Something's got to give here with these boys. Paulo Roberto wanting to get through Ed Palumbo. Not an easy task here as Palumbo trying to hold off Paulo Roberto. Ritsky Novar in 10. Emerson Scott running in the ninth position. He's 2 laps down. Gordon Carter and Dennis Vanderven here battling it up. Gordon Carter to the inside, Vanderven on the outside line, and Gordon Carter going to pick up a spot. Showing some muscle here. He's now moved up to P4. No, we got a yellow flag. Yellow flag, and it looks like maybe Paulo Roberto has come around. Also, Ritsky Novar around. So Novar off the pace. Take a look and see what happened here. Here's Paulo Roberto. And Roberto climbs up the track and spins. I don't know whether he got into Palumbo or not, but then Novar gets caught up in that. There might have been some contact here. Let's take a look at Paulo. Right there, and the car gets loose. That's what happened. He just got loose off the corner, and oh man, Novar had nowhere to go. Novar had absolutely nowhere to go in that one. Just got loose getting into the corner. He touched the grass just a teeny bit, and bad angle on the exit. And oh man, Novar had nowhere to go. crash in front. A little bit out the throttle. Whoa! Not Stanley able to get through. Ritsky Novar hit hard as a tough night here for him on board here with Novar. You watch that car get a little bit squirrely right there, and then Novar's nowhere to go. On pit lane now. Looks like Hank Steneker going to come down and take some service here. 40 laps in. A lot of laps to go. And Steneker is on pit lane here. Steneker on and off pit lane in P1. Paulo Roberto out of the race. Ritsky Novar has had so much damage here. He's running back in the 10th position, 9 laps down. Emerson Scott now going to try to get one of those laps back. I believe he will attempt to do this. He is actually running in the 8th position at the front of the field. Yes, I just did a bacteria lab where I transformed bacteria to take up a gene from a jellyfish and use the gene. So I may have talked about that on the broadcast last night. Yeah, I did that this week, as a matter of fact. So, yeah. Kind of cool, man. The bacteria using the gene from an animal and expressing that gene. Gene's turned on, and they're using it. So 42 laps in and a couple caution flags. Next week we'll be at the Crown Jewel of Motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 100-lap race from that famed oval and home for me, about 45 miles north of Indy. Most of my life, except for when I was in the Air Force and living in Australia as well. Got to see some really cool racing in Australia. Went to the Super V8s, V8 Supercars race at Barbagallo when I lived there. That was awesome. A couple cars out of the race. Paulo Roberto, Eugene Fedorov out of the race. And it looks like Emerson Scott is going to get one of his laps back, so he'll be at the tail end on older tires. Staneker, Vandertang, Udichin, Carter, and Vandeven, the top 5. And Palumbo running in 6th. John Stanley 7th. Emerson Scott getting one of those laps back. Now 1 lap down in the 8th position. Paulo Roberto out of the race. Will finish in 10th, I'm assuming. Novar probably make up that distance here. Will probably at least finish in 9th.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we go, back to green. And Vandertang here now challenging Staneker. A couple teammates here mixing it up. Staneker holding the inside line and gets a good run off the turn down the backstretch. And sliding that right front tire. Pretty good about where he's at, though. Great on restarts. Dennis Udichin has climbed up to that 3rd position. Wants to challenge his teammates. Dennis Vandeven behind him, running in P4. Gordon Carter running in the 5th position. Take a look at that pass, 4th position on the restart. Vandeven to the outside, Gordon Carter on the inside, and Vandeven gets a good run there. Gordon Carter needs a little bit more room to lift up the track to get some acceleration off the corner, and Vandeven picking up the spots. Now sets his sights on Dennis Udichin. Vandeven running in the 4th position, about half a second separate the two of those guys. Look at Gordon Carter running in the 77, actually the 56 car, in the 5th position. Ahead of him is Vandeven. Behind him is Ed Palumbo. Stock car aficionado is out here mixing it up, running in the 6th position. Good side-by-side battle now with Vandeven and Carter. Carter picking up that spot. He had to work for that one. Vandeven wants the spot back, though. He's down to the inside. And decides now is not the time. And Palumbo's going to use that time to, or use that opportunity to close in and make it a 2-wide battle there. Palumbo to the inside. And Palumbo battling Dennis Vandeven. Vandeven on the outside, Palumbo on the inside. This is getting tight. Those guys want to hang on to P5. Red wants to grab onto P5, and Vandeven wants to hang on to it, and Palumbo's got P5 now. And Palumbo moving up to P5, Vandeven falling back to the 6th position. John Stanley running in P7. He's got Emerson Scott back there, not for position. Ritzky Novar, not for position. Oh, John Stanley might have made contact with the outside wall. Stanley might have made contact there coming off the corner. He is running in P7, and I saw some right side contact for him. He's probably got a little bit of damage to deal with now. As those guys get around and starting to open up a little gap. This is Scott racing from the Trax VR facility. Fireball Flash rooting him on. Looks like a Fireball Flash paint scheme too, by the way. That's Emerson Scott running in the 8th position. Now running behind Ritzky Novar, although not on the grid. Novar is in the 9th position in that 10 car just ahead. Gordon Carter and Dennis Udichin, a couple teammates here battling it out. Gordon Carter to the inside, Dennis Udichin up on the outside line, and Carter getting by his teammate. Gordon Carter putting a whooping on Dennis Uterchin, his teammate. Uterchin falling back to the 4th position. Uterchin now has got some company with Ed Palumbo. Uterchin might have some damage there. He's falling back pretty quickly. He's Ed Palumbo into 14. Trying to get around. Go back and take a look at that replay. Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter, good run down the straight, across the start-finish line into turn 1. And picking up that spot. Uterchin falling back to P4. Carter up to P3. Look at Emerson Scott. What is it, 2nd or 3rd race out with us? I can't remember he raced the first 2 races. I know he raced 1. He's running in 8th position. One lap down. He wants another caution flag to get back on the lead lap. Hank Staneker, big lead there for him. 7-second lead over Bram Vandertank. His biggest problem now will be to deal with lap traffic once he catches up. Vandertank running into the 8th car. I guess that's what it says on the thing. I don't know what his number actually is, but Gordon Carter's closed in on Vandertank, however, so it's starting to get a little racy here for P2. Vandertank holds on to it, and Carter wants to take it away. Gordon Carter has really starting to show some muscle here in that 56 car. He is eyeing Vandertank. Take a little bit off the pace there coming off the corner. You see that Gordon Carter gets a good run, so Vandertank might have worn out his tires. Tires starting to give up a little bit. Gordon Carter races a lot of ovals too. A lot of stock car battles with Gordon Carter in the 56. And here he is showing that can translate into a great IndyCar oval effort. And he is now closed in on Vandertank. Take a look at that battle. Gordon Carter and Bram Vandertank. Gordon Carter running in the 3rd position, trying to close in on Vandertank. Down the backstretch. Vandertank a little bit better entering, but he's going to give up some speed coming off. But the thing is, can Gordon Carter capitalize on that? A little bit better in to the corners there for Vandertank, but he does give up some speed on the exit. Carter's a little bit better off the exit. He's slowing down corner entry. And he's setting that car up for a good run off the corner. Not quite as good on that one. So this is the best battle on the track, or one of the best battles. About 2 tenths separate these guys. Gordon Carter has a good run here. Oh, stays to the outside as Vandertank went to the inside, take his line away. Gordon Carter stayed on that outside line. And this battle definitely heating up now. Crossover move. He has to tuck back in. We get a battle here between Ed Palumbo and Dennis Uterchin. Palumbo Palumbo to the inside. Dennis Udichin up on the outside line, and Palumbo's going to pick up a spot. Dennis Vanderven tucks in back there as well. He had a good ringside seat for that one. Go back here and give it a look from Vanderven's point of view. Look at this battle here. Vanderven has a great seat for that one. He's going to try to sneak through and get by Udichin as well, but can't do it. Udichin able to tuck in behind Palumbo. Great three-way battle here, and don't forget maybe four-way battle. We got some other guys here. John Stanley in this mix as well. He's only a second back. Look at this. Gordon Carter getting around Bram Vandertang. So Gordon Carter now picking up the second position. Take a look at that on replay. As down the front stretch into turn one, Gordon Carter dives in there and gets around Vandertang. Gordon Carter might have lost his connection. Oh, no! Gordon Carter has lost his connection. Oh, my gosh, he just picked up that spot. Hank Staneker now rolling up on some lap traffic. Staneker, Gordon Carter gets kicked. So looks like he lost his connection to TeamSpeak as well. What a bummer there. And now Hank Staneker trying to work his way through some lap traffic. Man, Gordon Carter had worked so hard to get that position. Got the position and then lost his connection. Rains and pours. Now Staneker getting by Dennis Udichin. Udichin falling in line. He's in the fourth position. Vandertang now has gotten that spot back. He is back to the second position after Gordon Carter got around. What a shame there. Gordon Carter does seem to be back, might be back in the game, but he's in the garage area. Man, what a tough break, man. He had worked so hard to get to that spot. Now finds himself 5 laps down. That is just awful. Palumbo running in P3. It's a good race here, man. He's really not sure whether he was going to race today. He has 75 laps in. He's running in P3. 2 cars out of the race. Roberto and Fedorov and maybe Gordon Carter. He's a drop from TeamSpeak. Take a look at Bram Vandertang running in the second position again. 17 seconds back to his teammate. And Palumbo is the last car of the lead lap in third. 24 seconds back. Takes about 24 seconds to get around this place. So Udichin may be staring at lap down situation here before long. Just behind him is Emerson Scott, who's 2 laps down. running in the 7th spot. Take a look at Mutichin running in P4. That's 7.5 seconds down to Ed Palumbo, who is our 3rd place car. John Stanley running in the 6th position in the 15 car. Just in front of him is Vandeven. Both those guys, this is a race for position. So Stanley running in 6th and Vandeven running in the 5th position. So about 3/10 separate the two of those guys. Good battle here on the track. P5, P6. It does look like Stanley's a little bit better off the corner right now than Vandeven. You got to remember, Vandeven, he's got some skills. Don't get me wrong, but Stanley, he drives a lot of ovals. Not in Indy cars, granted, but he drives a lot of ovals. He may have burned up his tires there a little bit on that. Vandeven now opened up a gap. He may be using the toe from Mutichin as well. So Mutichin in this mix. So we got a good 3-way battle here brewing. It's a brewing. Vandeven trying to close in on Dennis Mutichin. He's been able to open a gap there on Stanley. Stanley may have burned up those tires just a little bit. John Stanley running in the 6th spot. That gap is starting to increase a little bit. Vandeven, I'll tell you, Vandeven likes those GT3 cars. He likes road courses, but he's raced some stock cars with us, and of course the Indy cars. One of our great friends from the Netherlands. Been a great source of encouragement for me. Whenever sometimes I haven't lately, but certainly have at times talked to him and sort of get his feeling on things. He's been a wealth of knowledge. And really sets the example as far as attitude as well. This guy is just so level-headed, man. He's just even keel. You never see him really get fired up. If somebody's raced him a little bit too hard or something like that, maybe involved in a crash that wasn't of his making. I mean, he's just, that's just the way he is. He doesn't let things get to him. And here he is mixing it up with us tonight. Hank Stenneker is the leader. He's got a 17-second lead over Vandertang. Graham Vandertang running in the 2nd position. Ed Palumbo is in 3rd. Mutichin 4th. Vandeven is in the 5th position. Mutichin and Vandeven are having a battle right now. Mutichin following him, and just behind him is Dennis Vandeven, who's closed in, wanting to make this a race, I believe. I think that's Vandeven there, 1.2 seconds back. That'll actually may look like Emerson Scott. There you go, Emerson Scott. What was that? I was touting it, wasn't I? Wasn't I boosting it up there, getting all excited, trying to pump it up? Colorblind, man. Sometimes these cars look the same to me. Might be Vandeven indicating he's coming down pit lane, I believe. Or might have heard him on the radio saying he was going to be making a pit stop. I think it's Dennis Vandeven, and it does look like Vandeven's coming down pit lane. Oh, man, you got to get this car down to 30. Vandeven does that, so he is on pit lane here on lap 90. Hank Stenneker is the leader, so we might start seeing some guys come down pit lane. So Hank Stenneker our leader as Vandeman is on pit lane. And he's finishing up his pit stop. Doesn't take long there, does it? Well, Vandeman finishing up his pit stop here on 92. Just approaching halfway. Just shy of halfway. Vandeman back out on the track in the 7th position. I got to think that we're going to start seeing some guys make pit stops here. 3 guys out of the race. A couple crashes, a couple connection issues, and 1 crash, it looks like. Staniker, the leader. He's extended that lead about 3 seconds more, so about 21 seconds now. You should give it some room there to Vandertank. So Uderchin yielded to Vandertank and let him go. With a gentleman's conversation on the radio there. So Uderchin running in the 4th position in the Ukrainian paint scheme. 47 car. 96 laps in. This is Scott now picking up a spot there as Vandeman made a pit stop. So Emerson Scott now running in the 6th position. His next victim, at least in his mind, will be John Stanley. A little bit of gap there between Scott and Stanley, about 21 seconds or so. Staniker in a little bit of traffic, getting around one of the lap cars. Emerson Scott finds himself 3 laps down as Staniker gets by. Graham Vandertang running in the 2nd position, 23 seconds back. So Staniker is absolutely picking him up and putting him down right now. He ain't messing around. He's going to beat you. He's going to beat you into the ground. And Palumbo is on pit lane, so he's taking some service. Coming down for 4 tires and fuel. Is that Palumbo in the 54? Actually running in the 14 here, but normally the 54. We have Palumbo on pit lane. Gotta improve my drone flying skills. So Palumbo coming back out on track. Gotta improve my skills, huh? A little bit more practice flying the drone. Palumbo back out on the track here in the 6th position. Just having a little fun. That's all. 4 tires and fuel for the 14 car. John Stanley on pit lane here on lap 104. So So Stanley taking some 4 tires and fuel. We're great Canadian drivers. And there we go. John Stanley finishing up his pit stop here on lap 104. Past halfway now. And a couple caution flags to make things interesting. Is the leader. Vandertank is in the second position. Staniger's lapped the field. Need a bigger field out here. More guys to pass. Some other guys that have got some really awesome IndyCar skills. I think some of those folks said they're just going to be part-time this season. Take a look at Dennis Schuderchin. Just behind him is Ritsky Novar. Novar had a lot of trouble there with the connection thing. He has shown 10 laps down. Again, just kind of a disconnect situation there for him. He's running in 8th position as we're watching Dennis Schuderchin in the 3rd position in the 47 car. John Stanley has made a pit stop, is now back to 6th as Vanderven climbs back up to P5 here on lap 109. Take a look at Uderchin. Dennis Uderchin got a pretty substantial lead over P4, which is Ed Palumbo. So Uderchin's had a pretty good night, man. Good top 3 run for our Ukrainian IndyCar specialist. He can flat out drive a stock car too. I think I've done more stock car racing with him as I have IndyCar, and he is a fantastic race car driver. Dennis Schuderchin getting up early, man, early to come out and race with us throughout the the weekend and sometimes through the week as well. So he's getting up at somewhere around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to race with us. That is some dedication there. He lives in Kharkiv, Ukraine. Definitely a lot of sleepless nights too. With what's going on there. We're always thinking about Dennis and prayers going out to him and praying for his safety, for everything to be over with ASAP. Vanderven out here mixing it up with us in P3. And Palumbo running in the 4th position in the 14 car. Good run here for him. He wasn't even sure he's going to be racing. He said, I'm not sure I even like these cars here at this track. And here he is running in the top 5. Just a testament to the, the kind of savvy driver he is. He's done some GT3 racing with us as well. Of course, stock car champion multiple times over. And now mixing it up here in the Indy cars. Who knows, man? Might be able to get a championship in this. This finish will give him, if he gets, top 5 finish, probably more than what he was expecting. Might get him fired up, and we'll see some championships roll Ed's way here in the IndyCar series. Dennis Vanderven. Man, I'll tell you what, you talk about a GT3 car driver. Dennis Vandeven can get that car around the track. I don't care what track it is. Great GT3 car driver, great champion here at High Octane Racing League in the High Octane Racing League GT3 series. And here he is running in the 5th position. Staniker beating up on the field right now. He loves Indy cars. And it shows. He's starting to roll up on some lap traffic as we see Dennis Uderchin in the 47, giving him a lot of room. Uderchin tucking in the 47 car in P3. Vandertang wanting to get by as well. So now Uderchin has got his hands full as Graham Vandertang wants to get around. Battle is not for position. Vandertang is actually in the 2nd position. Trying to get around Uderchin, going to the inside off the corner. And Vandertang picking up that spot, or picking up that position on the track without too much fight. And that's the type of thing right there. It just shows you Dennis knows that it's a lap down. He's going to let Vandertang go without too much problem. And that will be repaid to you down the road. It's going to be a situation where that's going to be reversed. And I bet Graham Vandertang will remember that. You know Dennis is going to remember it. Here on lap 123, Hank Steniker is the leader. Graham Vandertang is in 2nd. Steniker rolling up on some lap traffic now. You got to be really careful here as you try to weave your way through lap traffic. Steniker has won the first 2 races, and he looks to, I know we still got some laps to go, he looks to add 3 in a row to that resume. Still got about 76 laps to go. And Steniker to the inside of Ritsky Novar. Novar kind of plugging away now. He's 11 seconds down. He had some connection issues right off the bat. Got it figured out now. Good solid connection for him now. But he's already had to deal with the consequences of the connection problem. So now he's 11 laps down. Take a look at John Stanley. Stanley running in the 6th position is going to let Vandeven by. John Stanley 4 laps down, running in P6. And I think I hear Vandeven indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane, maybe. I'm not sure who that was. No, it looks like Staniker's coming down pit lane. Oh, boy! He was awfully fast coming down pit lane, and we better watch this one. We better watch this. That was a fast entry into pit lane. Let's take a look. And watch him. He's going to get on the binders. Oh, locking him up onto pit lane. So Vandertang, our new race leader, but Staneker on pit lane, and I don't see any penalty popping up for him, so he may have gotten slowed down. But we got a new race leader, and that's Bram Vandertang. So Staneker was fast getting onto pit lane, man. I'm not seeing any penalty pop up for him. I see Bram Vandertang now on pit lane. He was much more conservative as he approached the timing line. Wow. And I think Staneker now has realized he's okay. He might have been worried about that for a bit. As Vandertang is on pit lane here on lap 130. Led a few laps, get some bonus points for that, and now back out on the track. So Hank Staneker back to the race lead. Bram Vandertang is in second. Couple teammates here with Staneker and Vandertang as well. A lot of practice out of these guys. I saw them on a server earlier this week, and that translates into great finishes. You know, we've had some strong IndyCar guys that aren't here today either, so it'll be a much different race. But so far, this guy's dominating, and Staneker getting by some lap traffic. We got a battle here. Emerson Scott and John Stanley battling. Emerson Scott gets by. John Stanley now back to the 7th position. Take a look here. This is on watching John Stanley on board with John Stanley as Emerson Scott gets by. Good pass there for him. That's the way to set up a pass. We'll take a look at this again. Classic. And you get a little bit of a gift from Stanley as well. He realizes where you're at and says, "You caught me? Go ahead." So Hank Staneker, the leader, as he's getting around Dennis Udichin. Udichin now back to the 7th position. Once things cycle back around, I think maybe Udichin might be in maybe 3rd or 4th. So I think you're going to see some different pit stop strategies out of these guys. So if you just joined us, you are watching the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series at Milwaukee. Hank Staneker is our leader. Bram Vandertang second, Ed Palumbo third, Emerson Scott is 4th, and John Stanley is in 5th. Udichin is in P6. As you see Vanderman coming back out, running in the 7th position. So that's a good battle between the two of those guys. This is Dennis Udichin, and behind him is Vanderman, who's just come off pit lane. You kind of see a little bit of a replay with that. Utichin gets by Vandeven, and Vandeven tucks in. A little bit fresher tires now for Vandeven. We'll see how that shakes out as this run unfolds. Vandeven back to the 7th position. 3 cars, they're all on the same lap. And John Stanley is 4 laps down, running in P5 here on lap 141. Palumbo has worked his way up to the 3rd position. Are you kidding me? This guy doesn't even like IndyCars. He's running in P3. He is 2 laps down, but running in the 3rd position. Good top 3. And I think he would have been satisfied with a top 5 run, but here, we got a lot of laps to go. But we're closing it out. Still running in the 3rd position. I think better than expectations for him. Dennis Utichin battling John Stanley. John Stanley in the outside line as Dennis Utichin getting by. See Vandertank coming up on those guys as well. This seems like they got it sorted out somewhat. Utichin to the inside, and Vandertank's going to get through John Stanley. Stanley gave him a lot of room. And Vandertank now closing in on Utichin, not for position. Dennis Vandeven getting by as well on board here with Dennis Vandeven as he closes in on Stanley. And Vandeven up to P6. Stanley falling back to the 7th position. That was for position. Take a look at this again as Vandeven and Stanley right there as Vandeven gets by. Emerson Scott had some trouble early on in the race. He is 3 laps down, but look at it. He's in P4. He's going to be able to salvage a good finish here, assuming pit stop strategy works out. And there are no problems. Track's VR sponsor machine shown in the 3rd position. Or excuse me, 4th position. He's racing from the Track's VR facility in the Calgary area. So if you're in that area and you're into sim racing, check those guys out, man. So all forms, all kinds of sim racing, as I understand it, not just Indy cars and stock cars, and maybe rFactor 2. There might be some other platforms as well, but nonetheless, they provide the equipment, maybe a beer or two, and a lot of support from the folks who go there and race and work there as well. Guys have been big supporters of their guys participating. That'd make me nervous. I mean, really. I race a lot, and I've raced for many, many years, but I'd be nervous about folks standing around watching. But I know their support, man, cheering them on, and when they win, they're all having some drinky poos. Bet there's some beer flowing at that place. So, yeah. So Emerson Scott running in the 4th position. And Palumbo peeling off the track, coming down pit lane here. So Palumbo on lap 152, maybe think it's fuel strategy. He's on pit lane. And will likely give up the 3rd position. We'll see. Doesn't take very long to pit here, so he does give up P3. He's coming back out, finishing up that pit stop. So Ed Palumbo, here on lap 153, making his pit stop. Now finds himself in the 4th position. I think Emerson Scott indicating he was coming down pit lane, so here he is. We were just talking about him, and he's making a pit stop here on lap 155. So 4 tires and fuel for Emerson Scott, as we've got about 46 laps to go. 45 in just a second. That's the lap they're on, by the way, right there, 155. So there we go. As Emerson Scott finishing up his pit stop, hassle-free. He'll fall back to the 7th position. I think we're going to have some more pit stops underway here fairly soon. John Stanley's picked up a spot. He's in P6. Scott is in 7th. Look at Brand Vandertank running in the 2nd position. Palumbo is in 3rd. Vandertank 1 lap down. Palumbo is 4 laps down. Dennis Schuterton is in 4th. Vandeven is in the 5th position. John Stanley 6th. Emerson Scott in the 7th spot. And Ritsky Novar running in P8. He's had some challenges, man. Connection issues. And Gordon Carter has effectively retired from the race. He dropped his connection. So, unfortunately, will finish. He's back in the 9th position. John Stanley picking up a spot. John Stanley running in the 8th position now. On that Emerson Scott pit stop. Stanley is running in the 6th spot, I should say. I said 8, but 6th spot. As he's indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So keep your eye next time by here for John Stanley. It does look like now John Stanley on pit lane here on lap 161. Again, 4 tires and fuel. Pretty uneventful night, I think, so far here for Staniker. Maybe at the beginning of the race there was some drama. He's been able to get another solid effort in here and maybe looking at win number 3. Shadows are getting long on the backstretch. That means we are late in this race. Still a few laps to go, and nonetheless, looking at 37 to go. Staniker rolling up on some lap traffic, getting by. That's Vandeven now, letting him go. Vandeven running in the 5th position. Dennis Vandeven in P5, flashing the Ed Carpenter Racing Machine colors. As Stanley is on pit lane. Looks like he's finished up his pit stop. Back out on track. He's running into 7th position. Ed Palumbo, man. Got to be kidding me right now. Running in third. He doesn't even like IndyCars. Here he is running in P3. I bet he likes him now. He might be liking that IndyCar race we have coming up next week. And that is, by the way, the crown jewel of motorsports coming up on May 24th. 100-lap race. Race starts at 1 p.m. And it's race 4 of the season. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Dennis Schumacher running in the 4th position. Pretty eventful first half, or first about 10 laps for him. But he's been able to bounce back. Running in 4th. Vanderbilt on that same lap. Also, Emerson Scott all on the same lap. 5 laps down. Vanderbilt and Scott looking to finish out this race and maybe have a good battle for position before it's over with. A bit kind of separating the 3 of those guys. Look at Dennis Vanderbilt running in the 5th position. The top 5 run for Dennis Vanderbilt. I know he wouldn't be satisfied with that, but nonetheless, an eventful race. Drivers getting kicked. 30 laps to go. Emerson Scott running in 6th. Got 4.5 seconds down to P5, so we'll see how that time changes as we get through these laps. Novar keeps plugging away. Man, did he have a really eventful first part of this race. He got kicked, had some other issues. And here he is running in the 8th position, doing a points night. Just wanting to get out here and mix it up with guys. Mixing it up right now is Hank Staniker. Staniker rolling up on some lap traffic in the next few laps. Definitely something that's on your mind. You want to get through as easily, as pain-free as possible. And I think these guys are going to give him a lot of room as he closes in on them through turn 1. Not going to be much fight from those guys, I don't believe. Worst thing is that they start getting racy just ahead of you, spin out, block the track, and cause you to get some real-time, big-time, devastating time damage. You do not want that. He is definitely closing in. And some communication there with Ed Palumbo saying, hey, take the bottom. And Staniker's going to get through. Pain-free somewhat there. Had to get out of the throttle a little bit, but he's got a good, comfortable lead. Next, you set your sights on Ritsky Novar, I believe. Look at here as Emerson Scott picking up a spot. It looks like Vanderbilt has come down pit lane. So Vanderbilt on pit lane here late, here on lap 178. So we take a look at Emerson Scott now running in the 5th position as Vanderbilt. Maybe not a full load of fuel on that one, but it didn't take him long at all He is back out, running in the 6th position. A little bit later tonight, the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen. Test races here, 135 laps from North Wilkesboro. A great series there on Saturday nights at High Octane Racing League. Staniker got by the first lap car, now sets his sights on this second one. This second one a little bit harder to pass. So that looks like that might be Ritsky Novar. Not for position, but Novar's got a fast car now. And looking over the back of his machine is our race leader, Hank Staniker. Definitely going to have one eye on the track, one eye on the mirror. And he knows when Staniker gets there, he's going to move over and let him go. It's just the way that works, but so far got a comfortable gap, not really impairing Staniker's ability to make some good, clean, fast laps. Take a look at Ed Palumbo running in the 3rd position. Uderchin back behind him, about 13 seconds back. As we see Dennis Uderchin in the 4th position. But we got a battle here between the two of these boys. And look at this. This is Dennis Uderchin and Emerson Scott. Battling it out here late in this race, here on lap 184. Emerson Scott in P5. He's had an eventful race, now trying to close in on the Ukrainian. Scott to the outside. He sees an opening. He's a little bit faster right now. Uderchin trying to hold him off. You see Emerson Scott now starting to hound Dennis Uderchin. Some action here happening on lap 185. Emerson Scott says it is go time. And Uderchin wants to hold on to that spot. Emerson Scott wants that spot. Great battle here. Scott to the outside. Does he have enough juice to get around Uderchin? Uderchin holds on. Scott has to tuck back in, not able to pull it off. If he went to the high side, it looked like he might have had the room. Uderchin still trying to battle and hold on to that position. Dennis Uderchin slamming the door on Emerson Scott that time by. Now we got Ritsky Novar in this mix. Uderchin bounces ahead as Novar gets in the middle of this. Emerson Scott trying to get around, and that's going to hurt him late in this race. Ritsky Novar, the only thing I think Emerson Scott can do in this situation is hope that Novar causes some issues for Dennis Uderchin as he tries to go around. That hurt Emerson Scott right there. Novar is 11 laps down, and Emerson Scott is trying to close in 4th position. Staniker in this mix, the race leader in this mix, and you've got to really be careful here. Vanderman getting by, running into 6th position. Look at that, man. Wow. Great racing here. Emerson Scott gets by. Scott is like, man, I don't want to race you. I want Dennis Uderchin. And Uderchin, oh, man, I tell you what, this is crazy right now. Vanderman going to the inside. Emerson Scott wants to get around. My heavens, man. He wants to get back up there and race for position. Race leader says, listen, I'm coming through, baby. I am coming through. Let's get after it. If you're the race leader, you better be really, really careful here, because if you get caught up in a wreck, that can be devastating for your win. You're only a lap ahead of Vandertank. Some wild racing toward the end of this race. 192 laps in. Things have settled down somewhat. Dennis Yudichin has been able to get a little bit of a buffer there with the race leader between he and Emerson Scott. And Emerson Scott, I think he just got, I don't know, man. I think I would have let him go. I would have let him have it. We had some lap down cars kind of get in this mix, and now we go. We got this race again. It may not have hurt him. Here we go. 194, Emerson Scott, Dennis Yudichin battling for position. This is great. Yudichin looking out of the back of his car. He said, I thought I got rid of this dude. Emerson Scott is back. Now, Ritsky Novar has dropped a couple of positions here to let these guys race it out, and that is good juju right there. Oh, Yudichin touching the grass. Yudichin got into the grass there, so he is driving the wheels off this thing. Dennis Yudichin trying to hold off Emerson Scott. That is a great battle. And Emerson Scott going to the inside there in that side-by-side view. Oh, man. Got to be kidding me right now. Let's go to that. Side-by-side here on lap 197. This battle is for the fourth position. Emerson Scott to the inside. He's in P4 now. He gets by Yudichin. Great battle there. Boy, he was patient in that pass. That is the way to do it. Back up here with the race leader. Hank Steneker. Here on lap 199. Coming up on 199. Lap traffic in the way. Be really, really careful here. You got this sewn up. You can't get too crazy. Steneker says, watch me. Steneker gets by. Cross the start-finish line. We got one to go. Hank Steneker. Hank Steneker here. Last lap for him. A little bit of lap traffic in the way. Might not be an issue. Hank Steneker. Had a little battle there at the beginning of the race, but he ran away, and he has been by far the class of the field. And here he is getting the win here at the Milwaukee Mile. So Hank Steneker. So a great race there for Steneker as I finally get the drone. Man, it's hard. Every time they change the directions on the track, the drone flies a different way. So a great job to Hank Steneker on getting the win. So a great win for him, and win number 3 for Hank Steneker. And another win in the books for that team. Good racing, especially at the end of the race. That was fantastic racing by those guys. Staniker doing his burnouts in the infield. That's where all the beer's at, baby. Come on in there. So, getting the brewski. Getting out by the tower as well. Let's take a look at the final results. Hank Staniker gets the win. Bram Vandertank finishes in the second position. Apolombo finishes in P3. What a battle there between Uderchin and Scott. Scott edging out Uderchin and finishing fourth. Dennis Uderchin is fifth. Vandeven finishes in the sixth position. John Stanley finishes seventh. Ritsky Novar, tough night there for him. Bounced back there for an eighth place finish. And Paulo Roberto finishes in 10th. Eugene Fedorov finishes in the 11th position. So Hank Staniker getting the win here at the Milwaukee Mile. All right, we're joined here in the booth by Hank Staniker, and another dominating performance for you. It looked like, maybe a little drama at the beginning of this race, but otherwise pretty clean sailing for you tonight.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. Obviously, I was fighting for the lead, for the clean air mostly. I think maybe at the end you noticed that. It was very tough in dirty air, and you know that track position is important on a short oval like this. And yeah, tire wear, maintaining it, it was very, honestly, as long as I kept the clean air, the car was hooked up. It was great.
Well, it looked like late in the race there was a pit stop that you had there, obviously under green flag conditions, and it looked like you locked them up pretty heavily at the line or at the light. Were you worried that you got caught speeding there?
Yes. Yeah, I was.
A devastating penalty that would be, especially with such a dominating performance. Hey, your Graham finished in the second position, so good deal for the team as well tonight.
Yeah, it was great. Bram did an awesome job. Obviously, he's a rookie. He never drove ovals before, so yeah, he drove very clean, and yeah, he just lacks the outright pace. But obviously, he was also unsure how the tires would manage, and yeah. He probably saved a little bit too much of the tires.
Well, I would say if anybody's going to be familiar with an oval, it may be the one we see next week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I think the name says it all, right? IndyCars, Indianapolis, the crown jewel of motorsports. What's the thought process coming into a 200, what are we doing, 200 laps, 100 laps? I got to remember now. So long race there, but a classic track. What are you thinking there?
You tell me how many laps it is. You're the, you're the organizer.
Laps, sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Indianapolis is really a track where I expect a lot of people have their best setup. So obviously it will be much more closer there. And I mean, yeah, it's the crown jewel, so you want to win it. And yeah, that also adds a lot of pressure. So Yeah.
Boy, and what a weekend to have it too. The real IndyCar series at Memorial Day here. I live about 45 miles north of the track, and this is a special time in my state, certainly. And I think a lot of guys are going to be gunning for you next week too. You're going to need a little help, I think, with some of the drafting that's going to be needed at that track. And what's the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody wants to beat me. I already noticed it today in the pre-race chat. I mean, yeah. Obviously, Bram and I are gonna have to work together maybe a little bit to save fuel together or something. And yeah, just if I end up being alone, I'll have to make do with what I have. So let's hope that will be enough.
Well, congratulations, man. Great job this week, and good luck to you next week. And I think smooth sailing here. We'll have 3 races in a row, 3 wins in a row, and looks like maybe number 4 coming next week.
Yes, let's go.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
It's Hank Steneker joining us here in the booth, and great job to him tonight, or today, depending on what your perspective is. And another win for him on his way to a championship. Man, I don't know. We got some other guys that might be able to sneak some wins in. We'll see. So next week we will be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Then following that, Nashville, another great one. Iowa Speedway, a short track, hard on tires, coming up in race number 6. Gateway, the egg-shaped oval. Been there many times. I used to live out there in St. Louis area, and been to the Gateway events at Gateway many times. That's going to be a fun track too. So that egg-shaped oval, really a challenge for Indy cars, and a lot of fun in the Indy cars as well. Well, a little bit later tonight, the High Octane Racing Saturday Night Thunder will be in action for a 135-lap race at North Wilkesboro. Some short track action in the Saturday Night Thunder. Well, the chatters here. Preston Hassel coming in. Gordon Carter wishing everybody well. And that was definitely a fun race to watch. And he had a tough break getting kicked. And Gordon will be back next week. Preston Hassel, you need to get that car out here and get out here in the Indy cars and mix it up as well. And Dana Grover, another guy racing for Trax VR. How about 2 of them at once from Trax VR racing in this series? Let's do it. Well, thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. That's going to do it for me. Until next time, I am out of here.